And my guest in the studio, I was telling you about her. For 22 years, she has been a BV, a background vocalist. Well, she made one of the biggest stars we've ever had in Ghana, but it is rather unfortunate he's late. I'm talking about the late Terry Bonchaka. She made him out, and she's going to tell me if she was the one who actually held her hand and walked him into Zap's studio. But please, ladies and gentlemen, please indulge me as I welcome you, or as I introduce Nana Madazi to you. Nana, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Mamunia fancy, papa. And please, you're also live on Facebook. It is Joy Prime Official. So please, wherever you are, you can be watching us. You can also contribute to this conversation. What do you think is a problem in the industry in connection with background vocalists?
I don't know what is it, but I think we as a background vocalist needs to come out to talk about it.
Okay, so tell me about it.
Yes, because I don't expect you to talk about issues for us.
We don't even know.
Yes, so the issues that involves background vocalists, it is us. So we have to come out.
What are the issues?
We are not being recognized.
What kind of recognition are you looking at?
There has not been any award scheme that background vocalist has been nominated in.
You have won an award. Was it last year?
This year.
This year.
It was a citation. That was even given to me by my own colleague who is a background vocalist.
Okay. Okay. Well, yes. Because you add up to the songs, right?
Uh-huh.
So, but have you ever said this anywhere? Have you ever had this conversation with anyone?
Not anywhere, but on my social media platforms.
On your social media platforms?
Yes. I've started this thing in February.
Okay.
Yes, with Sammy Flex, I went for interviews on TV, most of the TV stations, and I spoke about it. Why is it so important? Because for me, I'm giving myself as an example.
Okay.
22 years in the industry.
Oh, so I was right with the years.
Then I'm like, okay, I'm not doing background vocals anymore. Then my small girl will come, Mommy, you've done a couple of songs in this country. What did you achieve? What was the award that was given to you? What are your achievements? Were you ever recognized? No.
Were you singing? Did you have the intention of being a BV to be recognized?
No, but it happened on the way.
Okay. Now let's backtrack. Let me ask you this question before we backtrack a little bit. Those times when we had the sale of CDs, at the back of the CD, all the people who participated and contributed to the song will be written there.
Exactly.
Did you ever see your name?
Yes.
Okay, so all of them or some of them?
All of them.
Isn't that recognition enough?
No.
It isn't?
It isn't.
Okay, good.
Because if engineers and instrumentalists are being recognized,
okay,
we don't only do BVs, we perform on some of the songs. If you've listened to most of the songs that I have done, I've performed a lot on most of them. So we don't only back, but then we perform as well.
Okay.
So that is what I'm asking for. We want to be recognized.
Have you had a conversation with some of these award organizers?
No.
Why won't you do that?
I mean, this is a very good platform.
Yes, it is. It is a very good platform. Yes, but don't you think you will have to go to them and have that conversation with them? There's an association for background vocalists.
We just organized ourselves.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, the reason is because I started the advocacy and bringing all our background vocalists together to champion this cause. Because if it's going to be me alone, it's like the rest are not really part of what I'm trying to do or what I'm trying to talk about. But then if it becomes a team, then I think they would be like, okay, then these people are now serious.
Okay.
Let's listen to them.
Okay, so now that you have an association, you will pick it up from there.
Exactly.
Now let's backtrack into your life a little bit. So from FEMEP Savior
International,
you furthered to
Winnipeg,
and after Winnipeg you went to the Symphony Orchestra. Okay, so if you weren't a BV now, what would you have been?
NS.
That was your initial love. What happened?
The old man passed on.
Oh.
Yes, and I had to choose music as a second option because I love to sing.
Wow.
And when I was done with Winnipeg, I met this man, Nesbitt, who nurtured me because he was more into studio works. So when I got introduced to him, sometimes he'll take me to the studio. In fact, he was the first person to take me to Stick Up Studios. And yes, Nesbitt, yeah.
How was it the first time? Because you had been singing, even in school, at assemblies, when they need someone to start a tune.
Exactly.
In church. How was it the first time you went to the studio?
Because I was being trained from somewhere.
Okay.
I was, you know, Nesbitt was like, this is what you have to do. This is how you have to do it. So I felt so relaxed because he was always with me on the way. So I was relaxed, but it was a nice experience. My first time was a nice experience.
Okay.
Standing behind the mic.
So when you started, did you perceive you being a BV, or you perceived yourself being a musician, a frontliner to have a career in music?
My mentor wanted me to be a solo artist.
Solo artist, okay.
But it happened on the way. It happened that other people started introducing me to the late Kojo Akwai, and then Nana Kwame Ampedu. So that is how we started. And on the way, both of us lost track. Both me and Nesbitt.
Okay.
Yes, there was no connection anymore because then Nanama was everywhere. People wanted me to do BVs for them. So we lost track on the way, but now we are back together.
Okay. So you're back together, does it mean you're going to be a solo artist?
Yes, if you have to, if I have to.
If you have to.
Yes, I will. Because I know a lot of people want me to be a solo artist now.
Okay.
I know you are part of them.
Okay. Now we'll get to, apart from you being the PR for the association and BV, what else you do. But I'm very much interested in you identifying Terry Bonchaka.
Hey.
How did it start?
It started a nice story though. Terry was schooling. His school was just closer to my house.
Okay.
So
which school are you talking about?
Elwit's Preparatory.
Elwit. Okay.
Yes.
In Dansoman.
In Dansoman.
Okay.
So I don't know who told him about me.
Okay.
But then I think I had done shows with Kojo Enchi. So in the area, people started getting to know me that, oh, okay, this person works with Kojo. Then one day I was in the house when he came. He said, Auntie Amma, I heard you sing. I want you to help me. You know, at that time, I think he had started going to this, Kida Fest.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'll help you. And my kid brother will teach him the tree because he's a guy.
Okay.
So when he sings, my kid brother will translate it into tree.
Oh.
And then so I said, okay, I'll introduce you to Zab. So I held his hand.
And walked him to Zab Mallet's studio.
Zab Mallet's studio. I said, Uncle Zab, that's my brother. Record him.
What was Zab's,
he was
very first repulse?
At that time, I had started working with Zab, so he didn't say anything. He was like, okay, rap for me to see. Okay, I'll record him.
Oh, okay.
So that was how come he won the Media with Kids Award. You know, we used to have this award scheme for kids.
Yeah.
Yes, so he won the award. That song was recorded by Zab, and I think Zab was a judge, so we are sure say Zab had to do something for him.
Sorry, go on.
For Terry to win that award. So eventually, Zab became his producer.
Okay.
And then Kwame Mickey came in to be an executive producer for Terry Bonchaka. Yes.
Well, I'm sure you're hearing the song on the background, right? Well, that had Nanawa's voice in it. Did you ever perform the song?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So who have you worked with?
Hey.
Oh, no, wait. Who haven't you worked with?
I think the only artist I've not worked with in this country is Sarkodie.
Sarkodie?
Yes.
You've worked with Stoneboy?
I think Sarkodie and Stoneboy.
Stoneboy.
The known artists, I think Sarkodie and because Shatta, I've done songs for him when he was with Sugar Tone.
Sugar Tone?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Sarkodie and Stoneboy are the only Ghanaian renowned artists that I've not worked with.
Ochame Kwame?
Kwame, I've not worked with him.
Okay.
But I've done shows with him.
Samini?
I've worked with Samini.
So now tell me, run me through the names, the ones that you can remember. I know Lord Kenya, I know Okofo Kwade.
You know Noble Nketia.
Noble Nketia, Kodrinchi.
Grace Ashi.
Grace Ashi, the Black Star.
You know Black Rasta. I did about 4 albums with Grace Ashi.
Grace Ashi, wow.
Yes.
I know Black Rasta very well.
Okay, so almost all his songs.
Okay.
Even with the Timbuktu by Road, I did about 95%.
Wow.
Yes.
Still, run me through the names because it's a tall order. and Akatechie.
Nana Kwame.
Okay.
Konte Hene.
Wow.
Nana Bati.
Wow.
The late Michael Dramina.
Okay.
The late Terry Bonchaka and Frank Mensah.
I'm sure we'll have to go on and on. How about artists outside Ghana and outside?
I did projects for the United Nations, and I was privileged to work with Flavor.
Okay.
Or Maomi.
Oh.
Yes. Samsung, who is a gospel artist from Abuja.
From Abuja.
And then one also from Lagos. She's called Chinebere. She's a gospel act. And then I've worked with, I did a couple of projects for the Liberian government.
Wow. Wow. Okay, now let's hold on with the musicians. Let's talk about producers, sound engineers, Zab Mallet, yes. Kewa.
Morris.
Babyface. Roro.
JQ.
Okay.
Nasi.
Uh-huh.
Hubert. Saj. Yes.
Saj, all the way in Dakar.
Sami Halwani.
You've worked with Sami Halwani.
Mr. Kwache.
How old are you? Wow. All these people.
Yes.
Have you worked with any sound engineer or producer outside the continent of Africa?
Outside the continent of I worked with Bodo, but he was here.
Oh, you worked with Bodo?
Yes, he was here.
How about away from outside Ghana?
Mastercraft,
Nigeria. How's the difference working with a Ghanaian music producer and, someone from outside? Mastercraft and Bodo.
They are time conscious.
Okay.
They don't joke with their time.
Is that the only distinct thing you saw?
And they are up to that standard. They know what they are up to, They know what they are looking for.
Is that to say ours don't know what?
They know. Especially working with Charles Amoah. Charles Amoah is also...
You work with Charles Amoah?
And Uncle, he actually introduced me to Zab in the year 2000.
Wow.
Yes.
Charles introduced you to Zab. Mm-hmm. So the first person you ever worked with was Charles Amoah. Did you work on any of his records?
Yes. His last album that he did, yes.
You were on that album? How many tracks did you work on him? Wow. That is a very rich CV you have there as a BV. What have you achieved? What have you achieved out of being a BV?
A lot. Meeting a lot of international artists, working with them. The respect you get when your name is being mentioned, especially when I met Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
You have worked with Yvonne Chaka?
I've been on stage with her.
You've been on stage with her?
Yes. When I did the colloquium theme for Liberian government, I was traveling from here to Liberia, and Isopele, he's always behind me. He met me at the airport and he was like, well, I said, I'm going to your country. There's a colloquium, you're also going there. And I missed my flight. And then one lady was just standing behind me. She said, so is she going to Liberia? I said, yes. Can you give her my seat? I'll come later. Yes.
Did you know her?
No. She was also a Liberian, a Black American coming for colloquium in Liberia. And she had to do transit here in Accra.
And she just offered you her seat?
In the plane. And that was where I met what's her name? Onyeka Owenu.
Onyeka Owenu,
yes.
Nigerian.
Yes.
With this woman who gave you her seat, had you started any conversation with her? Did she know your frustration?
She wouldn't have. But I think because ISO came in.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you quantify, can you put a figure to money you have made out of being a BV?
There's money in BV. There's money in it, but there's BAT. The BAT is because we are not being recognized. some of the opportunities that BVs have to get, we are not getting them. Some of these musicians will not even recognize you.
After some of these musicians that you work with?
Yes, after you are done with what, I feel so you are being paid, so that's it.
But were you being paid?
I charge and I was being paid.
Okay.
But the measures that we're supposed to put in place, like, okay, when I feature on your song, aside from doing background vocals, when I feature on your song, I need to get a percentage as a background vocalist. That measures were not put in place for us from Gamro or Musica.
Were you getting royalties from?
I've never received any royalties.
Were you writing any of the songs?
I was.
You were writing
some of the songs. You go to the studio and they'll be like, I only have rap. Can you create a chorus or a verse for me?
Wow. But do they recognize you, acknowledge you?
They only acknowledge you as a BV. That's it.
Not as a writer. So you don't have rights over some of the songs you have written?
No.
Were you paid off? Were you like, okay, come, let me pay you off for doing this work so that you don't have and you don't.
You know, my dear, all that they do is do my chorus for. Sometimes they will not even tell you that you need to do a verse for them. You get to the studio and you get frustrated. You're like, you only called me for background vocals. Where from this? Oh, Auntie, can you please? I'm a new artist. Please help me.
Who did this to you?
A lot of them,
A lot of them?
Oh, my dear.
What's the highest amount you've ever been paid for being a BV?
Not from a Ghanaian.
Who paid you?
Ambassador Julie Andy from Liberia.
From Liberia. Were you as part of the colloquium you went?
Aside from that, the first time I worked with this woman in this country.
Oh, you went with her in this country?
Yes. I was introduced to her by Goodies.
Okay. Goodies Music.
Goodies Music.
How much did she pay you?
That was,
Which year was this?
So I think about 15 years ago. And for a short thing I did for her, she gave me $200.
$200 for a very short thing. How much were you thinking you were going to be paid? I mean, compared to the numerous ones you've done.
Like $100. $100 or something.
$100.
Yes.
And they give you 200.
She gave me 200.
Okay. We have so much less time so little time to wrap up. Are you working on any project right now?
Yes. Aside from me being the PRO for Ghana Background Vocalists Association, that we'll come on.
Is it fully blown now?
Yes, we are. The registration is in ongoing. I mean, we are still gathering members.
I have 10 seconds to wrap up.
Okay, so I'm into liquid soap production.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I do liquid soap, and then very soon I'll release a single or something.
Okay, very soon she's releasing a single, and I'm so excited that at least she's letting me know for the first time, and I'm sure you are also getting to know for the first time that 22 years of being a BV, she's now agreed to be a solo artist. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is all we can have for you. This is where I bring down the curtains of the show, but this is one of the songs she performed in.
Oh, Nick.